Hi friends, this is Neha Ranglani. I'm an integrative nutritionist, health coach, and a plant-based food coach. And I also have my YouTube channel by the name Neha Ranglani, where I put up informative content on health, recipes, information, health issues, and all of that. And I'm really excited to be here on Mompreneur Circle today to talk about something very important that we all are going through. Basically, I think this lockdown has brought a pause in our life. I think we are also recognizing and understanding a lot of things that we never earlier understood or we took it for granted. And today we are actually being grateful for a lot of things, like the smallest thing as food on our plate. We never thought that ingredients or scarcity of food or the this lockdown is an amazing period to actually reconnect with yourself, to reconnect with your family members, and to spend the best time possible, with your loved ones, and do things that you really enjoy. Your hobby activities. There's so much to do. There's just things that you never did earlier. I think doing those things will just make this time so much more precious and beautiful. And when things get normal and we start getting back to our routine life, I think we all will. Realize that this sort of introspect and understand what really works for us and what doesn't. So yeah, I think we should use this time really, really wisely. And today I really want to talk about this one very important aspect. So I get a lot of clients asking me, Neha, what? Since we are at home, we are constantly binging, we are constantly eating because, the kitchen is right next door, and we don't have any time passed. So is there a way that we can stop binging, or is there a way we could binge in a healthy manner? So today I thought we should discuss this thing, because I think a lot of us are going through this problem and we don't know where to stop. We don't even realize that we are binging, because we are like, chalo, Netflix dekhte dekhte, TV dekhte dekhte, we are just munching on things, and that is sort of that can cause a lot of problem. And you'll realize that after 21 days or after a month that, oh my God, what did I do in these 21 days that it's really affected my health now? So basically what here are a few tips that I would want to give you in case you want to take care of your health. First of all, have a routine, guys. It's extremely important to have a routine and to have discipline in place. Now, just because you're not going to work, or your kids are not going to school, or your husband is not going for his job, does not mean that you can wake up at any time, sleep at any time, eat at any time, because that's what most people are doing. I hear people coming back and telling me, what, Neha, I slept at 4 o'clock because I was watching TV. But that clearly is, not the right thing to do, because having a routine helps us to stay in the zone and helps us to do the right thing at the right time. So waking up at a particular time, having your meal set at each time of the day, your lunch set, your dinner set, and all of that. And then making sure that you can, you have some certain times during the day for exercise, for meditation, or even, just simple hobby activities like painting, drawing, or maybe just playing with your kids or pets. When you have certain things stipulated for your time during the day, you're going to do those things at the right time, and you're not going to get distracted by food. So that's very important, because if you don't have a routine, then food becomes your comfort, food becomes your best friend, food becomes your entertainer. But we don't want to do that. When you have set meal timings, you will eat at the right time, you will sleep at the right time, and you will make sure that you do things which are need to be done. And then your whole your attraction towards food will reduce, because you have other things to think about. So first things first, have a routine. Second thing, very important, you need to stock up on the right things at home. Now, I can understand that chips and biscuits and all can be very entertaining at this time, but they can be very health damaging as well. So you need to make sure that you actually stock a lot of healthy things around, because if you don't do that, then it's like a cakewalk to ruin your health. So things like makhanas, things like peanuts, but all of this has to be eaten in a control. So you need to stock up things which are healthy. It's not about the calories, it's about the nutrition in the food. So more nutrient dense food, the more you stock them up, the more likely that you're going to eat healthy, and the more less likely that you're going to damage your health. So you need to stock up like makhanas, peanuts, seeds. Pumpkin seeds are amazing, so keep munching on that if you want, because they are very high in magnesium and zinc, and they're very good for your muscles and nerves. So that's one option. Then you could have nut butter. So maybe a spoon of nut butter with a little cocoa powder and jaggery. You can make this at home. It's very simple to make it. All you need to do is you need to roast your nuts and fill your chutney grinder with it, maybe almonds or cashews or whichever nut you like, and then just blend it. Keep blending it for some time. And then the more heat that is generated, your nut butter will become more smoother. So you don't need to put oil, you don't need to put water in it. Your nut butter will be ready by just blending it for good amount of time. And you can have that one spoon probably with a cracker or with a khakra or anything like that. So it's nice to sort of have these healthy options around. But even for kids is amazing. You can munch on fruits whenever you're hungry, or you're craving for something sweet in between. Try having a fruit rather than having like a mithai or something which is very high on refined sugar, because that again is poison for the body. So that is one thing which you need to really take care of. And another thing that I really wanted to discuss with you is how to stop binging. So most of us, what we do is we sit with a box of whatever we like. So we'll sit with like a box of popcorn or a box of chips or a packet of chips. And of course, when you start one, you really can't stop. So in case you also want to binge on something that's not healthy and that's a little junk food, it's okay. But all you need to do is you need to sort of take a little portion control, controlled portion with you on a plate or in a katori or in a bowl, and make sure you only eat that much and savor it. Eat it really slowly, chew it well, so you're enjoying it, and at the same time you're not just eating mindlessly. You're not just sort of binging and putting all of it in your system. So very important, portion control, and take only that much that you think will suffice your cravings, and you'll be good with it. The fourth thing, very important, is that you need to exercise. It's extremely important, because boredom can set in, and boredom can first make you think of food as a solace. So when you're exercising, you're also creating a lot of blood circulation. You're also creating a lot of energy in your body. So when you exercise, the energy circulation is happening, and your cravings actually start going down, because your body releases this inherent store of energy within you. So you need to do some sort of exercise in the day, even when you're not. Even if you can't go to the gym, or you really can't, set out. But at home, there are a lot of these amazing apps which help you to exercise. There are a lot of these amazing videos on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, which show you how you can do home workout with your simple gadgets and equipments around you, like just probably a bottle, or you have a rubber tubing, or you just with your sofa or with a stool, things like that. So it's extremely it's innovative, it's fun, and you're also trying to do something for your body which is very, very satisfying. So you need to exercise, which will help to get your cravings down and take your energy away from binging to actually using the energy in the right way. The next thing is, sixth thing is breathing. Breathing is again very important. So you need to remove like few minutes in a day for breathing. Like it could be like morning or evening before sleeping, but some breathing exercises like your pranayams, your anulom vilom, you could probably do there are these apps which help you to do box breathing, so which is like breathing 4 counts, inhale, hold for 4 counts, then exhale 4 counts, and hold for 4 counts. So if you do this sort of a breathing, it actually helps to take your focus away from all the wrong things and actually focus on the right things. Then you have 4-7-8 breathing. Now 4-7-8 breathing again is extremely helpful. So you breathe in, you inhale for like 4 counts, you hold for 7 counts, and exhale till 8 counts, and then again do this. So do this for 8 to 10 times, and you'll actually see how fresh and energetic you feel. So yeah, that is something that you can actually invest your time in. And also meditation is extremely important. So when you meditate, you actually calm yourself inside and you lower your cravings, because cravings happen when you're very mindless or when you're not energizing your body enough. And when you binge, you're doing it very mindlessly. There's no mindfulness in that. But when you actually sort of invest your time in meditation, 5 minutes morning and evening, it will actually help you to sort of calm down and move away from mindlessness to mindfulness, and you start getting more mindful about the things that uh, you are doing with yourself. So everything is about mindfulness, right? So when you're binging, it's all about how much, why am I doing this, why, you know it, it's wrong, you know it's not the best thing for your body, but you're still doing it. So clearly that's mindlessness. Meditation helps you to get more mindful, it helps you to get more within. So when you're more mindful, you stop looking at these external stimuli to entertain you, and you get more calmer and deeper. So yeah, these were few tips, and if you guys have any questions, you can start pouring in. I'll keep talking about more stuff in between, but I'll be more than happy to take questions if you have now. So I have one question. As kids are at home and a lot of them want pizza, french fries and burgers, how to divert them with healthy snacking during this time? Another important thing that you can actually do is, that's a great question, because for most mums, that's a very big problem, because, kids are home, they want to binge, they want to eat the wrong thing. Why don't you actually channelize your energies into cooking something healthy, like, healthy burgers, so healthy patties and french fries. So what I do is, generally I make french fries with either sweet potato or normal potato, and what you do is you cut them into french fries and steam them first. So when you steam them for about 10 minutes, they get a little softer, and then you can put very little olive oil, or you can omit that, with a lot of spices like your red chilies, namak and all of that, and mix it well and bake it in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius for about 10 to 15 minutes, and your fries are ready. So, without oil, without too much junk, without too much fried, you're actually giving your kids a healthy alternative. So why don't you invest your time in making something healthy? Because there's a lot of time now, and these simple ingredients like potatoes and sweet potatoes and all of that are easily available. Also, pizza, like last night I made pizza, which was really healthy. So in my area I get this very nice gluten-free bread, so I picked that up. I made a tomato sauce at home with loads of tomatoes, garlic, oregano, peppers, and just added all the herbs in it and made a nice sauce. Put loads of veggies, your bell peppers, mushrooms, baby corn, and just baked it in the oven, and I had like a veggie loaded pizza. So you could also do that. Also, another very important thing is, why don't you get your kids involved in cooking with you? Because that is something that is going to help them to divert their attention. When they make something, they're channelizing their energy in the right way. So they are going to enjoy the meal and the process as well, and you're also going to enjoy, because you're going to get a lot of help, especially at this time when help is really less. So yeah, these are the few things which you can actually do with your kids, and it also teaches them a lot more. So if you have to teach them about nutrition when you're actually cooking with them, or you involve them in cooking, so when they're helping you peel spinach or coriander, or when they're just helping you to mix something, all you need to do is, just tell them about what goes in it. I mean, what is it all about? What is spinach all about? How good it is in vitamin A, how good it is in vitamin C, how good it is in iron, and all of that. And just like that, you could talk about a lot of ingredients. That could be a lot of nutrition education for your kids, which I think is very important at an early age, so that kids know what to eat and how to eat correct. So it has to be drilled in their mind from childhood that this particular food is good for this. And you can always give examples, like when you're talking to them about something and they have a special character, so you can say, this cartoon character is strong because he eats this, so why don't you start eating this? Or this person has if they have a favorite actor, so this person has this this food, that's why they have good skin, they have good hair, so why don't you start eating this? And that's really going to help your kids. So I think this is the best time to involve your kids in the kitchen, in food, because they don't do that in their routine life. They have school, they have classes, they get tired, they want to play. So food and cooking and kitchen generally comes last. So why don't you just try doing that? It's really going to be beneficial for you and the kids. Okay, Priyanka Parikh says, it's very difficult for me to manage the time. How to manage it? Priyanka, like I said earlier, I don't know if you joined in now, you were there from earlier. You need to have a routine. You need to have a schedule in place. Managing time is all about organizing yourself and having a discipline during your day. Like I just said, even if you're just not working, not going out of the house, or not having a particular routine, daily job to do, you need to have a certain set of organized routine in place, and that's how you're going to actually get all the things done. So like, for example, what I do is, I can give you my example, and if that helps, you could actually incorporate that. I wake up in the morning. I make sure I get in some breathing, meditation, and workout first thing morning, because I know once it's done in the morning, laziness later will not, sort of stop me from, I won't be lazy. And if I'm lazy in the day, then I've at least done this in the morning. So you can actually start your day with some sort of a short burst of exercise or a yoga. I do yoga generally. I love yoga. So, I get that done first thing in the morning. Then I finish my breakfast. I do like a good amount of breakfast with fruits and all of that. My ginger lemon water for immunity and stuff. And then get on to doing something for myself. So, that's the middle time in between. You have after finishing cooking and between lunch, you have that time. So what you can do is you can actually invest it either in reading, studying, some hobby activity, or probably, you just want to get some course done, cleaning of the house. So, you have that set time to do an important task, either for self growth or for family or for anything else like that. Then once you finish lunch, you could take a little nap. You could actually wake up in the evening and just, if you have a balcony, go out in the sun. Even the evening sun is very good for vitamin D, so you could take that. Even the early sun is very good, so if you could actually get that in your system, great. If you've not worked out in the morning for any reason, get a short burst of exercise in the evening, or do some meditation, or try connecting with someone you love, because now with social distancing, we are really we are not getting that enough time to meet our friends, meet our loved ones who really fill our heart with a lot of happiness and joy. So what you can do is actually set that time out and do like a con call or a video call with your with your best friend or with your loved one, and that will actually help you feel a lot more happier to go through the remaining part of your day. And then after that, in the night, in the evening, if you again want to invest your time in some reading or some self activity, meditation is great. You could do Yog Nidra is amazing. It helps to calm your body. So there are a lot of these things available online again, so you could do that. And after dinner, just have a routine to sleep. So that way, if you manage your time, I don't think you'll have a problem. Just have a calendar and a time schedule for yourself, and trust me, you'll not know how the day is going and how it's passing, and you'll get everything done in it. Try new recipes in the evening, guys. Make new different dinners for your family. There's so much to do. There's just so much to do without even realizing that we're stuck at home. So yeah, make the most of it. Yes. Okay, so Priyanka, that's what you mean, the day to get over without any productive work. Yeah, exactly. You must be feeling that because you feel, oh my God, I'm just getting up, sleeping, cooking, eating, and then going to sleep, and you don't feel productive. And after a few days, it starts getting onto you, and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. I want to do something that I feel good with. That's why in your in between times of your meals during the day, you need to get something productive in as a compulsory activity for yourself during the day. Otherwise, you're going to feel completely harrowed and irritated with this whole lockdown thing, and you'll feel like, oh my God, when is this going to end, and when can I just leave the house and do my stuff? But no, you need to be calm within and just try getting your activities during the day. Yes, so yeah, guys, so I think this was more in a nutshell about how to avoid binging, how to be more productive, how to calm yourself and enjoy this time, because we all know this is a phase and this too shall pass. This is gonna go one day, and probably we'll just remember it as a phase of our life. It's not going to stay with us. We don't know for how long it's going to be now, but once it's gone, it's going to be good. So I think there's no other better time than this for self growth, and just investing your time in self, investing your time in connecting with yourself and with the people who you always thought, and doing things that you always thought you'll do, but just time never permitted you to do that. So I think there's no better time than now to do that. So just make the most of it, guys. Try to try to be calm, try to be composed, try to be happy. We are blessed. We have a lot of things with us which other people don't have, and I think that's a big blessing to realize at this point of time. So I think that that is it's a lot of lessons we are going to learn at this time, and I think we should carry these lessons once this lockdown is over and life gets back to routine and normalcy. But the lessons with us will stay. So make this that time. Ritu Bhatia says, I crave a lot for sweets. Okay, what to be done for that. So darling, if you're actually craving for sweets, that means your body is not well nourished and energized. There are a lot of reasons for sweet craving. It could be your food habits, it could be your stress, it could be emotions, it could just be anything. So but in general, when you're craving for sweets, that means your body is not utilizing the energy properly. So we need to also see which nutrients you're deficient in for the sweet cravings. Like if you're deficient in magnesium, you'll definitely crave a lot of chocolate. So just like that, what are you actually deficient in? And the best way you can avoid sweets, or you can get over the craving of sweet, is by eating natural sweet foods which are going to help you up your energy. So like your fruits are amazing. They have natural energy, like your bananas, your mangoes. Now mangoes are in season, so you can actually have that. And you can also have a dry fruit like a khajur in between, or an anjeer, or raisins, or just like a piece of jaggery or a chikki. A jaggery chikki with peanut or dal is a great snack to overcome your sweet cravings without actually damaging your body too much. So the minute you start energizing your body well and start following a good routine of eating, there'll be a point where you'll not crave sweets. So I have a lot of clients who come with massive sweet cravings, and they're like, Neha, I can't do without a sweet after lunch and dinner. But trust me, after they follow a regime, after they follow a sort of routine, after a week or two, they come back telling me my sweet cravings have gone. I don't crave sweets. I mean, if I like a chocolate or I like a cake, I will have it. But it's not that I'm dying to have it. So that's the change, which is beautiful to see. So you need to work on yourself for that. So yeah, guys, so I think this was a great chat. I hope you've had some great insights on how to avoid binge eating and how you can take care of your days during the quarantine and lockdown. And I think it's here for the good of mankind. So we should just bear with it. We should just sort of savor this moment, enjoy what is there with us at the moment, and once it's all over, we'll be shining, strong, powerful, and we'll be wiser. So I think the whole human race will be much more wiser. So yeah, and it was great chatting with you. If you have any questions, you can drop them, we'll answer them, and maybe we'll see you sometime soon in the next live. Thanks.